What's going down, you savages? Welcome back to another live stream on the channel. Hold up, we still got the background music going outside of the headphones. You guys know it's live. There's always something that could go down, but that's the fun of it. Thursday, November 2nd, 2023, man. There's a lot that's been going on in the world of music. There's a lot that's been going on in the music of entertainment. Got a little beverage here, and we're going to hop into it now. What up, Kyle? Shout out Kyle. Shout out Nathaniel. I'm still a little bit out of breath, man. I was trying to get ready for this stream. Let me zen out a little bit as we pull up our top story for tonight. So as you guys can see from the headline, man, and of course the thumbnail, the alleged killer of Tupac, Keefe D, has officially seen his first day in court for this case, pleading not guilty. And this entire case, man, is honestly a little bit of a shit show. So we're going to hop into what we know about it right now. So obviously this whole situation happened stemming back in 96 when Tupac was murdered in Las Vegas. But in terms of Keefe D being relevant, this just started going down back in September when Keefe D was arrested and charged in Nevada in connection to this murder. So Keefe D, of course, was arraigned in a Nevada court today. He attended the arraignment without private legal representation after he failed to meet the terms of an agreement with his original attorney, Ross Goodman. And I'll also mention, guys, that there's been reports as well that Keefe D has been completely unable to actually afford a lawyer. Pitchfork was reporting that he was actually using a public defender. And that's exactly what he's doing. So public defenders Robert Arroyo and Charles Canco are representing him. This is probably the craziest thing about this case, man, because imagine if you're a public defender and you end up coming in for the murder trial of Tupac Shakur. You know, this has to be probably the biggest fluke in the world, and I kind of feel like we're probably going to see some of these public defenders probably rise up and become notable in the world of being a lawyer. Like, I don't think it's possible to be one of the main lawyers in a case like this and not end up at least, you know, getting some sort of shine or acclaim in the world of, you know, law. I would imagine that this is going to be a big propeller for these guys. And not in a sense that's positive for Keefe D, by the way. The reason I think this is going to be such a major propeller for these public defenders is because I have a feeling, well, I guess it's not going to be good for them if Keefe D goes away. But it's not going to be good for their case. The reason I think it will be good for them is because the notoriety of this case will be bigger, I think, if he goes away in terms of it being discussed. Although if he gets away with it, that would be pretty good for them too. Listen, it's a win-win situation for these public defenders. So Keefe D admitted in interviews and in his memoir that he was in the Cadillac from which Tupac Shakur was shot, but contends that another person fired the fatal shots. So we do have some video. We're going to go first to a video of Keefe D actually talking about this, and then we're going to go into a video of him from the arraignment today. Just so we can sort of take a look at, I guess, where this whole thing started in terms of him self-snitching and where he's ended up now. You know, guys, I can't say that I'm completely surprised that this dude was unable to afford an actual, you know, private lawyer as well. And tell me if you guys think I'm wrong, but I'm not surprised to hear it because I highly doubt this dude was having much money coming in other than the self-snitching interviews that he was partaking in talking about Tupac. And that's also my theory, by the way, as to why he did so many interviews. You know, people watch all these interviews like the clip we're about to look at now, and I think they wonder, why in the world would this dude be self-snitching like this? And I think the answer is very clear. This dude doesn't have any money. That's ultimately what I think it is. This dude doesn't have any money. This was probably the only way he even knew to feed himself. This is probably the only way he even knew to have anything going on in his life. So let's take a look at this clip from the Vlad show, DJ Vlad. And this is Keefe D speaking on him and Orlando Anderson pulling up to Tupac's car and firing the shots. And I'm going to try to get myself back on the screen too. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Hopefully, okay, we'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. But let's get into this video clip nonetheless. So this is Keefe D.
You guys tossed it in the back seat. And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just
Okay.
say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, "Tupac, Tupac."
No, we coming up, what's the name? What's that, Flamingo? Yeah, I think that's Flamingo. We was coming up Flamingo and got to the light. We was going to go drink and smoke some weed, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next?
And we just came, and shit. I ain't gonna go into details like that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you got it in a book. You done played it, everything.
He's like, I'm not going to go into details here because that would be ridiculous, but you have it in my memoir that I wrote about this entire topic, and you have it everywhere else. I mean, this dude is obviously not too bright, man. But again, the only reason, guys, I can theorize, and let me know in the chat if you guys have any other type of theories, but the only reason I could even suspect that he would be doing so many interviews is because he's being paid so well. TFT asked if I think he did it. Of course I think he did it. Absolutely. I mean, it's innocent until proven guilty. We'll listen to a little more here. But I definitely feel like he's probably guilty, 100%. What do I feel about NNN? I have no clue what that is. You're probably trying to trick me, bro.
Anything else, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, in the book,
What up, June?
you said that as you're driving up towards the BMW with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a gun.
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
They made an edit there. Whatever he said there, he didn't want in the interview. They probably said something about Suge Knight.
And you said that Tupac pulled out a gun.
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Did you actually see a gun?
No, shit. Once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started shooting at Tupac and Suge.
Lane starts blasting.
So this is from the tapes where he was basically confessing, guys. This is police tapes. You know, I wonder why we didn't have a conviction earlier, because this dude basically confessed to this murder so long ago. Like, it almost seems like this was an open and shut case, wasn't it? And that's what DJ Vlad said, by the way, who's doing this video here that we're looking at. I know what NNN is. I literally don't, bro. What is that? You're fucking. I know you guys are just pulling my leg, and it's gonna be something stupid.
Over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting shot. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
In
of
the
line.
back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their
Jumping
car?
in. I seen a bullet going Suge head. I thought
Oh, I do know what it is. Hold up.
he did.
So Orlando shot across Dre?
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window, popped.
Who was it?
They would drove on my side. I would popped them. You know what I'm saying? But they was on the other side.
Right.
I'm not gonna go into details on that one. Keep it streets on me. I ain't gonna go into detail on that.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and read from the book.
Well,
So
let them buy the book then.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to read this passage.
I'll react after, T.
The shit was on. Tupac made an erratic move and began to reach down beneath his seat. It was the first and only time in my life that I could relate to the police command. Keep your hands where I could see them. Instead, Pac pulled out a strap, and that's when the fireworks started. One of my guys from the back seat grabbed the Glock and started busting back.
Oh, shit. So Tupac, hold on a second. This is something I never actually knew. So Pac had a strap on him while he was getting shot. I guess that makes sense. He probably had a strap everywhere, especially at that point in his career. He had a gun on him while he was getting shot, and he pulled out a gun and shot back at these guys. Listen, I'm not the type to glorify any sort of like gangster lifestyle. I honestly, look, that's not the life I've ever been in. I don't judge people, but I also don't think it's like something to aspire to or something to think is cool. But man, every once in a while you get one of these dudes like Tupac, who he was like the dudes from the movies, man. He literally went out like Scarface. And it's not to glorify it. It's just a matter of fact. This dude went out like Scarface. He went out shooting. He went out fucking cussing, spitting, screaming. I mean, it's sad, but at the same time, this dude should have never been killed in the first place. I know he talked a lot of shit. Pac talked a lot of shit. Is it understandable why he was eventually shot? Okay. I don't think it's ever understandable to kill an innocent person, but damn, was he that innocent? You know, I mean, that's a whole other debate. You guys let me know. I mean, he ran his mouth so much. But the point is, man, I don't know. Let's listen to him and try to find out what the point is.
The first shot skinned Suge in the head. And
if you're going to be shot and you're innocent, I feel like you should fucking give them hell if they're going to kill you. That's what my point is.
thought that motherfucker was dead.
Yeah, he was in the car. That's already a charge. But did he pull the trigger?
I had heard some stories, supposedly that Tupac,
That's
that
true.
Suge used Tupac as a shield when the bullets started flying, but that's some bullshit. Suge was already wounded, and he was the one that got touched. As the rounds continued flying, I ducked down so I wouldn't get hit.
Basically, yeah.
White Cadillac, arm came out the back seat and started letting off.
So this is Idi Amin from the Outlaws, guys. So he was, they say he was directly behind Tupac in the car during the shooting. If you guys are liking the stream, by the way, man, smash that like button, gang. I appreciate it.
What went through your head when you saw that?
They shoot my nigga.
So the bullets started flying. Tupac and Suge's car get all shot up. Was there, and I'd heard different versions of the story, but the one version I heard was that that their entourage started shooting back.
Basically, yes.
Okay. Does anyone from the death row side return fire?
Yes.
Okay. Can you say who that was?
Yeah, he's no longer with us. His name was Buntry.
Buntry.
One of Suge's right-hand guy, our good friend, Alton McDonald. He chased the car down. He also received one gunshot to his vehicle. His car was shot. He had a black Toyota Supra, and him and another guy returned shots at that car.
Yeah, they saying they left their guns at home, though. They started shooting back.
These guys are crazy I still can't fathom the fact that they're admitting all of this. It almost doesn't make any, like, why are you sitting on camera admitting all of this? My theory is this. One of two things. Either DJ Vlad and his channel have some sort of leverage to get people to speak on these situations. Obviously, they have a big platform, so that's one part of the leverage. But I feel like they must have some sort of other leverage. That, or they're lying about not paying their guests, and they're just paying these dudes a lot of money to talk this shit. I'm not accusing DJ Vlad of being a liar. You know, I'm a fan of what DJ Vlad does. I think as someone who's like in the streaming world, in the interview world, the podcast world, I think everything that any of these big streamers do makes life easier for me and all the smaller guys in this game. So I respect DJ Vlad and I respect what he's built. But the idea that people would come and, you know, even Boosie doing 100 interviews with this guy instead of just starting his own podcast. Why do it on Vlad? You know, why are these guys giving all this content to Vlad for free? That's really the question that I have. Running your mouth isn't a good idea, especially when you're a famous guy in Tupac's position. Exactly, TFT. I mean, look, what can you say? It was wilder even back then too. So to run your mouth back then was worse than now. Nathaniel says, "What do I think of the Tupac introducing the original lineup of Kiss at the Grammys in 1995? That was the most classic moment. Absolute classic. Maybe we'll pull that up in a second here. There's a couple more seconds of this clip I want to get through.
Yeah, some chicks was in the sea breeze, started following a white sea breeze, ragtop sea breeze.
Why were the girls following you guys?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's crazy.
But I guess their window got shot out.
Front windshield, yeah. Yeah.
And they stopped following you at that point.
Exactly.
I've talked to a couple people that were there about this situation. And from what they told me was that, you know, you guys came up, you know, the car that you were in came up behind Tupac's car. You guys didn't, the cars were not facing each other.
No, they weren't facing each other.
They were not facing each other.
Gutter lane.
You guys got up parallel to them, behind them. And, you know, when you look
side by side.
Side by side. So how would you even see Tupac reach for anything if you're driving behind him?
We weren't driving behind. I tell you, we were side by side at the light.
Oh, okay. You guys were already side by side.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Unbelievable. You know, this is the first time, guys, that I've actually really sat down and watched and processed these interviews and what's going on with this whole case and really heard out his side of it. I think part of me didn't want to hear out his side of it just because he's such a scumbag. You know, he's such a bad person. And he did something so horrendously wrong that I really never gave a shit to actually give a chance to hear his side of this story. But I think it's important that we hear this side of the story, man. You know, it always boggles my mind, too. The fact that these guys are willing to just give their life up just because they're hateful or jealous towards some dude. You know, Tupac is gone now. Tupac has been no longer with us since 1996. But this dude is still living in hell every single day based off what he did. And he's lucky to not be in jail, but usually the guys who do this are in jail. You look at the guys who killed XXXTentacion. I mean, these guys did it for a couple $1,000s that they stole off this guy out of his bag. For X, I think it was $3,000 cash or something. I'm probably wrong. Don't quote me on that, but it was only a few $1,000s cash. These guys knew he was carrying it in his bag, and they murdered this guy for a few $1,000s. Even if you don't get caught, that few $1,000s is gone. It comes and goes, and then this dude's life is gone forever, and you have to live with that. I just can't understand or wrap my mind around the mentality of killing someone for nothing. Especially a dude as talented as Tupac. You know, the effect that Tupac had on people, he had a different effect on everybody, right? But he obviously had an effect on people because he, you know, for his own special reasons, man. And I feel like if somebody has that much of an effect on the general public and people either connect with them so much that they feel like they're, you know, one and the same, or they're so sort of put off or perturbed by them that it's such a turnoff. A polarizing figure at that level that is polarizing in the way that he affects people, I feel like nobody should touch that. Nobody should mess with that. You should just let that person be. And nobody should be hurt or killed, obviously. But I'm just saying, in the case of somebody who's, like, this was bigger than Keefe D. This was bigger than Suge Knight. This was bigger than these jealous bastards who killed this guy, man. These guys were just so fucking stupid. It drives me crazy. So stupid and so selfish. That's really what it is. Like, Pac was one of a kind, man. And I feel like they've tried to recreate Pac. They've tried to make more Pacs. It doesn't work. You know, this dude was 101. I pray to fucking God that they lock this dude up if he did it. Again, it's innocent until proven guilty. That's very, very true. But we need to see justice. Like, the Tupac story for me was never... It's never going to be put to bed until we have justice. And that's why this is still such a topic that people talk about to this day. People to this day wonder who Pac's killer was, because this can't be the end of the story, that he's just gunned down and nothing is done about it, man. That's not the story. That's not the fucking story for Tupac, bro. We're not going to let that be the story. Unbelievable. We have this video here of, and I hope they don't flag me for this, because TMZ can be a bitch. I love you, TMZ, but you guys are strict as fuck, and you guys mostly like use, you know, other people's content anyway. But this is Suge Knight. I guess they got an interview with Suge Knight from the jail phone, and this is what Suge Knight has to say about the Keefe D case.
In the trial, tell me what your reaction is to the arrest of Keefe D.
Well, surprise number one, because I didn't think Keefe D would never get arrested. Nor do I want to see him get arrested. You know, let's get one thing straight, first and foremost. You know, me and Keefe D played on the same Pop Warner football team. And whatever the circumstances, if he had an involvement with anything, if he didn't have any involvement with anything, who want to see, I wouldn't wish somebody going to prison on my worst enemy.
The DA says that Keefe D was in the car with his nephew, and that presumably his nephew, according to the DA, is the one that shot Tupac, and that it was done with the full knowledge of Keefe. Do they have it right?
There was only two people in the car. And Pac not going to tell the story. I ain't going to tell the story, but I tell you this. And I never had nothing bad to say about Orlando, because number one, he wasn't the shooter. Number two, he came to my hearing and told to let me go and told the truth. They still didn't let me go.
If you are called to testify in this case?
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be.
Why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
Why not?
Well, number one, because I'm not going to get on the stand and testify on somebody for what?
They seem to be saying that Orlando was the shooter and Keefe was in on it, that he had full knowledge of what was going down, and it was revenge for Orlando getting beaten up by Tupac and his team at the MGM after the Tyson fight. Is that correct?
No.
Then who shot Tupac?
It wasn't Anderson, so that's all I got to say about that part.
To summarize, you are saying Orlando was not the shooter, although you won't.
Oh shit. How long was I going, T? How long was I going? How long was I going with my mic muted, guys? My apologies. I don't know how that happened. I was saying he knows who killed him, and it's fucking ridiculous that this is even a conversation, and that these guys haven't been held accountable for this shit yet.
Don't say who the shooter was. You are not saying whether Keefe was involved in any way in the shooting. And you are saying that if you're called to testify by either side, you will not comply. You will not testify. Do I have that right?
1,000%. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't testify. None of that. At the end of the day, free Keefe D.
You know what's really interesting is that
free Keefe D. There you go, guys. Suge Knight. Sorry about the microphone, guys. About 45 seconds. That's crazy. Yeah, I was trying to make a point just about how this is so It's so crazy to me that there's so many people who know who did this, but nobody's been held accountable yet. Also pretty cool to see TMZ actually doing some real journalism. This is sort of refreshing to see, like, and again, I don't have anything against TMZ. I think that there's definitely a market for what they do. But, like, you know, actual, like, investigative journalism is not what I usually associate with TMZ. So shout out to Harvey Levin and to them for that one. I don't know, man. Look, at the end of the day, this is I think I've basically summed it up the best way that I can. This guy was never supposed to be killed, and the fact that there was gonna be no resolution to this just doesn't, I don't think it just doesn't sit right in any sense of history. And the story, you know, God willing, will not be that Tupac was killed and the killer was never found. That shit just doesn't fly, man. It really doesn't fly. This is the video from today of Keefe D, by the way.
Goodman is back on board as my attorney.
Okay, sir, if you choose to do that at any time, Mr. Goodman knows how to substitute in, and that can be done at any time. But for today's purposes, to get this case moving, the special public defender will be appointed to represent you.
Public defender is crazy. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments of the Tupac and Keefe D situation. It looks like we're probably going to get some sort of resolution towards this in the relatively near future. Hopping over to something else, Elon Musk was on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, and he's making headlines for a lot of different stories and situations that occurred on the podcast. I haven't got the chance to watch any of it yet, but we're going to take a look at it now and see how Mr. Musk's appearance was on Rogan. I haven't watched Rogan or Musk in quite a while, actually.
How much does the Cybertruck weigh?
It depends on configuration, but it's about, I don't know, 7,000 pounds.
Whoa.
There's different versions, but 7,000 pounds.
The Cybertruck, by the way, guys. So I don't know if you guys have seen the Tesla Cybertruck. You've probably all seen it by now if you follow anything like that. Incredible, man. Definitely, like, if I had a dream vehicle, it's not going to be a McLaren. It's not going to be a Lamborghini. It's the Tesla Cybertruck.
It's like similar to, like, it's a heavy truck.
Like a Ford F-250 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it, because of all of the metal and the weight and everything like that, but with the engines that you have, it's still, the 0 to 60 is pretty bizarre, right? It's like 3.5 or something like that?
We're aiming to get the 0 to 60 below 3 seconds.
Below 3?
Yes.
Wow.
For the, you know, the beast mode version. So we've got a beast mode version that's, so there's, well, I don't want to give it all away right now, but there are 3 demonstrations. One of them people are aware of, which is, you know, emptying a Tommy gun into the side of the car, a shotgun. 45.
We're going to watch that next, by the way. In this clip, Rogan shoots an arrow at the Cybertruck. He's just telling us the other ways that they've tested, basically fucking up the Cybertruck to see, because the Cybertruck is like an armored vehicle. So we'll pull up the video. They literally shot a Tommy gun at Elon Musk's Cybertruck.
5 and a 9mm, and no penetrations.
Wow.
And it comes that way from the factory.
Can I try it with an arrow?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
You think so?
I mean,
I bet I can get in there.
A crossbow might.
I have a 90-pound compound bow that shoots 520 grain arrows at 300 feet per second. With a,
I think an arrow.
300 feet per second. How is that legitimate, bro? That's the most Joe Rogan shit I have ever heard. Yeah, I have a 90-pound arrow launcher that shoots arrows at 300 come on, man.
Is there sharp?
He out-Rogan the Rogan.
Broadhead.
We can try it right now if you want.
I wish I had it with me.
So we'll skip to the part they actually went and did it when Rogan got the arrow launcher.
they're roughly the same, but the 45 actually is slightly worse penetration than a 9mm.
You know what I just realized? I do have some broadheads. And I have a less powerful bow, but I have an 80-pound bow back there. I think we should do it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So cool.
You want to
This
do it
is
right
cool.
now?
Yeah, we can do it right now.
Okay, let's do it right now. Let's find out.
Fuck yeah, let's do it. Sick.
We'll be right back.
If I had a different broadhead, I think we could be better. Can bring it back?
Bro, look at Rogan's compound, by the way, dude. Like, you would think this was like an industrial packing facility for like large-scale product. No, this is just one of the many warehouses in Joe Rogan's podcast fucking mega compound. The greatest to ever do it, the absolute goat of podcasting. And listen, if you don't pay respect to the goats while they're alive, I gotta tell you, I have no respect for you. I really have no respect for you. If you want to wait for Elvis to be dead to give him the respect that he was Elvis, you're not legitimate, dude. Joe Rogan is the fucking greatest to ever do this shit, and you got to give him the credit while he's here. TFT, I have a crossbow that thing is insane. Shoots so fast, all you hear is the impact. That's insane, man. You guys are going to get me shooting crossbows and shit. Hey, I live in Canada. I better act like it. I've never shot a crossbow in my life. I should be a master at this shit. Go find an elk. Shoot the fuck out of it.
We'll get a sense of it here.
Just don't, have the arrow come back and...
I'm going to shoot the door.
I mean, just beware of ricochets.
You might want to do it at a slight angle.
You know what I mean?
Damn. So it made a little dent. Wow. So I don't think it actually made a dent. I think that's just a mark on the side of the thing.
Look at the tip of the broadhead. That's impressive.
Hey, cutie.
Thank you. Well, now we know.
Musk's laugh, bro, like, you know when they say laughs in billionaire? That's literally Elon Musk. Look at this motherfucker. Has anybody looked like more of a billionaire than this guy in this frame right now? Bro hasn't had a worry since before he was born. Bro has no conceptualization of what a problem is. Bro's straight up jolly. And I do not blame him.
So we just shot an arrow into it, and it barely scratched it. Barely scratched it.
Yeah.
It was probably moving 275 feet a second. That was a 525 grain-ish arrow with, even more than that, because it had the 125 grain head, so that was 545 grains. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive. It just destroyed the broadhead. The broadhead flattened at the tip, and then the arrow blew apart.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's like I said, you could. We have a cool video we'll show at the handover event next month, which is emptying an entire magazine of a Tommy gun, which I think is like on the order of 50.
I swear I saw that video though of the Tommy gun. Super truck Tommy gun, right? Or there was some kind of gun that they shot off into this Tesla super truck. Is that what it's called? Super truck? Cybertruck. What the fuck am I? Super truck. They're showing me kids' cartoons and shit. Doesn't look like he has built $3 billion companies. How does he handle stress? I know. Okay, this is it. Okay, here's the Tommy gun video. So yeah, they did release it. Musk, I don't think Musk realizes the Tommy gun video leaked already. He said it was coming out in like 12 days.
A Tesla Cybertruck was spotted plowing down a highway at night riddled with dozens of what appear to be bullet holes in its side doors.
Bro, could you imagine seeing that? That's like some John Wick shit. Imagine seeing a Tesla Cybertruck driving past you at night, full of fucking bullet holes, bro. That's cool.
A Tesla Cybertruck was spotted plowing down a highway at night riddled with dozens of what appear to be bullet holes in its side doors, and we're just as baffled as you are. In what is certainly a bizarre methodology, Elon Musk recently shot an entire Tommy gun drum.
Look at this motherfucker. Are you serious? Right? Bro is loving life. You know what? If I was a billionaire, this is exactly the stance you would catch me in on any given moment. I wouldn't even open the bathroom door. I'd just fucking shoot it down and just fucking build a new one. Every door I open would be opened with a Tommy gun. Just fucking obliterate it. This dude is phenomenal.
Magazine into the Cybertruck. Musk said that no bullet penetrated the vehicle from the passenger side. He emptied the entire drum magazine of it.
Who's gonna say it? Who's gonna say it? Tupac needed a Cybertruck. Oh, no. Too soon? Too soon? I'm sorry. Too soon.
Tommy gun into the driver door, Al Capone style. Indeed, we can say that now. Tesla Cybertruck is bulletproof. The electric truck has already provided enormous challenges for the automobile developer. Yet, it is still among the most anticipated truck, with its technological advancements and unconventional design.
Wow. Cybertruck is absolutely goated. We have another video, too, from the Rogan appearance. I'm going to pull it up here. Yeah, that Tommy gun is ridiculous, T. Wasn't Musk selling a flamethrower for a while? Was that a legitimate thing where he was selling flamethrowers that actually, like, worked? I feel like I have to check that story because I didn't feel like it was actually legitimate. Here's another one. Musk and Rogan ordering pizza. This one was a riot, actually. Joe Rogan revealing his specialty pizza. He's going to anger the people who say pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, by the way. For all you Joe Rogan fans who say that, Rogan is... He says pepperoni goes on pizza, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
One of my favorite pizzas ever is pineapple and anchovy.
Okay.
Double pineapple, double anchovy.
Bro, this might be the first L Joe Rogan has ever taken. What do you mean your favorite pizza is pineapple and anchovy, bro? What is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, you made $100 million from Spotify. You eat like a guy at the docks. Bro's eating like a fucking 18th century fucking peasant.
Wow.
Bro's eating like one of the fucking Alcatraz prisoners.
Amazing. It's the sweet and the salty, and then you got the tomato sauce and the cheese. It's my favorite pizza. It's very good.
I mean, as a kid, I was like very much against Hawaiian pizza, and as an adult, I like it.
Hawaiian's good,
yeah.
But I'm telling you, anchovies and pineapple is the bomb diggity.
Joe. First of all, never say the bomb diggity. Never say that. Just don't say that. But Joe, no, man. Absolutely fucking not. If I was a multimillionaire, I would have a dude in my house making me Chicago deep dish pizzas. You gotta say it like a pizza. You're making me fire oven roasted pizzas. Your favorite pizza's Hawaiian? Yeah, dude, you're gonna have to leave the chat, bro. I'm just joking. I don't dislike Hawaiian, by the way. It's just so not. But you guys are gonna hate me. You guys are gonna hate me if I tell you my favorite is pepperoni and black olive, dog. That even sounds crazy. Like I feel like unwell when I say that. But it's my favorite type of pizza, so I feel like I can't even say shit to the Hawaiian people. Hawaiian is normal compared to my pizza order. But Joe Rogan is just inhuman.
Bomb
Okay,
diggity.
I'll give it a shot.
That's the bomb diggity.
Hey, wait, can we order some right now?
I bet we could.
Okay, let's try it. That'd be sick.
Yeah. Have Jeff
I'm a little busy,
order a very large pizza with double pineapple, double anchovies.
Great. Fantastic. I'm hungry.
Let's fucking go.
Yes,
Let's
LFG.
fucking go.
No time like the present. Enjoy life.
Get in there, sir. Grab a piece.
Bro actually ordered a pizza.
This is awesome.
And what's the name of this pizza place
Living
again?
life.
Pizza Leone.
Pizza Leone? Yep. Shout out to Pizza Leone.
Bro, imagine if you just made a pizza for Elon Musk and Joe Rogan and you had no clue. Man, the guys that... Hold on, let's go look at Pizza Leone. Pizza Leone, Austin. They probably posted some shit about this, like, on their website. If I was this business, I would just put Joe Rogan and Musk, like, sharing a slice of my pizza on the front page of the website. Just him passing it across the table. If they didn't post this on their social media, they are lacking in a major way. Their Instagram's down. Bro, they better get their socials back up. They have 18 followers. I don't even think they know. Guys, I don't even think they know they made a pizza for Joe Rogan. Hold on. Okay, they do. Ah, there we go. All right, shout out Pizza Leone. Yeah, that's crazy. Such an awesome moment for a couple of the world's most influential to taste and love our pizza. Yeah, that's huge, dude. Good for them. I'm going to put on one more clip. Let's take a look at this one here. This is Musk talking about buying and maintaining Twitter and turning it into X. I fucking hate that, by the way. I absolutely hate the X brand name.
Hey guys, do you like Disney?
The X brand name is just so... It's just a terrible brand, if you ask me. It's just not memorable. It's not catchy. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It's just... It makes no sense. You just joined and your name sounds like the name of that pizza joint. J. Leo, yeah. Yeah, Leo and a pizza. AJ, have a slice for us. Let's take a look, guys. Yeah, I can deal with Hawaiian. I don't understand the hate for Hawaiian.
What has it been like? You've owned X for a year now.
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and have a dream that you didn't do it? And your life is infinitely easier?
Well, it's certainly a recipe for trouble, I suppose, or contention.
What was it ultimately that led you to make the decision to do it?
This is the question, by the way, that people really want to know. Joe Rogan, thank you. Because I think we've all been sort of scratching our heads as to why the fuck did Elon Musk buy Twitter? What is the deal with that?
I mean, this is going to sound somewhat melodramatic, but I was worried about that it was having a corrosive effect on civilization. That it was just having a bad impact. I think part of it is that it's where it was located, which is downtown San Francisco. And while I think San Francisco is a beautiful city, and we should really fight hard to kind of right the ship of San Francisco, if you've walked around downtown San Francisco, right near the FK Twitter headquarters, it's a zombie apocalypse. I mean, it's rough. Have you been in that area?
Not lately. No.
Yeah.
I've heard.
It's crazy.
I've heard it's crazy. I've heard you...
Yeah, San Francisco's fucked up.
You really can't believe it until you actually go there.
You can't believe it until you go there. So now you have to say, well, what philosophy led to that outcome? And that philosophy was being piped to Earth. So, a philosophy that would be ordinarily quite niche and geographically constrained, so that the fallout area would be limited, was effectively given an information weapon, information technology weapon to propagate what is essentially a mind virus to the rest of Earth. And the outcome of that mind virus is very clear if you walk around the streets of downtown San Francisco. It is the end of civilization.
Wow. So Musk, yeah, Jay, I'm surprised by this too. So Musk basically saying that he bought X because he felt like the effects of the internet and the way that these platforms have been run has been so corrosive that it's actually bled into our real life and our everyday society. Interesting perspective. I do kind of feel like he's a little out of touch though. I just finished working in Vancouver, Canada on an opioid documentary that I'm doing for some guys out of New York, and they wanted some interviews from the Canadian side. So they sent me out to Vancouver for a couple days to work on the story. And I spent days interviewing meth addicts and, recovering crack addicts and, resource workers, people like that. I feel like I have a decent understanding of the issues. I don't feel like the issues with poverty and homelessness and drug abuse is social media. I think, it would probably factor a lot more into the free speech stuff that I've heard him talk about before. I've heard Musk talk about freedom of speech a lot. This I have not heard him talk about. Let's get back into this.
And it's not just propagating the mind virus, but suppressing any opposing viewpoints.
Yes. Well, in order for the virus to propagate, it must suppress opposing viewpoints. So,
because it doesn't stand up to scrutiny.
Correct.
Yeah.
You've felt the virus.
Yeah.
Yeah. People will try to cancel you so many times.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
I don't think you're melodramatic at all. I think it's I don't want to be melodramatic, but it's almost like a death cult.
It's a death cult. No, that is exactly right. It's essentially the extinctionists. Like, it's in the limit. It is that they're propagating the extinction of humanity and civilization.
Damn. We got to drop a bomb on that one. No, I could totally listen. I totally agree. When you look at some of the things that are going on in the world, and you look at some of the things, especially in like the United States, North America, that are happening, sometimes you got to wonder, like, do they want us to fail? When I say they, there's many branches of they. Does government want us to fail? Does the infrastructure of society and the powers that be, do they want us to fail? Do the leaders of these platforms want us to fail? Do these record labels want us to fail? So much of what we're fed from, verified channels. Like, you go online, it's going to be verified. So much of what we're fed is actually fed to destroy us. Most of the big record labels, they promote serial killing. They promote, misogyny, sexism, all the negative things. The fast food chains. Most of the food chains, period, are made to kill us. I think there's a lot of truth to what Elon is saying, that like there's a certain element of it's like, if everything is leading towards death and, the extinction of us, maybe that's what these people want. And that's a scary thought. And that's also a thought that a lot of people aren't ready to have. A lot of people aren't ready to go down that mental path because it's painful and it requires too much energy. So what you could easily say is none of this is all bullshit. You're just crazy conspiracy theorist. That's the easy way to dismiss any of the reality to what he's saying. Jay, you know what I'm saying, brother.
And there's some people who are like most of the time it's implicit. They don't but sometimes it's explicit. Like, there was a guy on the front page of the New York Times who it literally has the thing called the Extinctionist Movement, and he was quoted on the front page of the New York Times as saying, "There are 8 billion people in the world, but it would be better if there were none."
What the fuck? Okay, I gotta find. That's really creepy. I gotta find.
And I'm like,
that.
well, buddy, you can start with yourself.
Yeah. Does he have friends? That's what always fascinates me.
Well,
here he is.
That guy.
He looks like he's not long for this earth.
I mean, it's not
Voluntary
young.
human extinction movement. That's hilarious. I'd like to party with that dude. I would just like to
That's
yeah.
that's
that dude needs DMT.
Explicit version of the death cult.
Yeah, maybe live long and die out.
I mean, it's not. Extinction is a word he uses.
Yes.
No, I mean, it's not it's literally a self-description.
Did they cover
that
him
death cult
glowingly?
was in charge of social media.
Yeah.
And still largely is at Google and Facebook, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not in favor of human extinction. They are, and they can go to hell.
If you don't know how to make chords, this is it.
Wow, man. Elon Musk making a lot of good points. We're going to skip this ad, guys. If you guys are liking the stream so far, man, please hit that like button. I would appreciate that. Let's get more people to see this stream, to hear what Rogan and Musk are saying. Obviously, it's not like they need the promo, but fuck it. I do. So hit that like button, gang. The extinction phase is real in your opinion. He said, in my opinion, John says, before they needed us to serve them, now AI and robots can replace us. Well, that's very true. Jay, that's very true. Obviously there's... See, I bite my tongue. I was about to say, obviously there's jobs that AI can't replicate, but I will rephrase that. There are jobs now that AI at least has not caught up to. So that's our silver lining for now. If we can find a way to become better than the AI at these tasks before they find a way to do it at all, that's the only way. Like, for example, I'm sure they'll find a way to make AI build buildings. But if humans can find a way to build buildings, maybe even better than we build them now, and potentially get a leg up on AI so that AI could only catch up to our current methods. You know what I mean? We need to come up with better methods than our current methods so that they're not replicated as easily by machines. Because right now, like, construction jobs are safe and jobs of that nature are safe, but God damn it, they won't always be. And, I'm glad I'm wearing a stoner shirt tonight because I fucking sound like Joe Rogan talking about aliens and fucking AI and robots, but guess what? This shit is true. Plot twist. And this is the thought you have after you hit the blunt at like 5 a.m. What if they already had AI in the past? It became more advanced at building than humans ever could be and built the pyramids. But then it turned on the civilization and ended up destructing everything and killing everybody. What if AI already was building and doing things in the past and was already created but became so strong that it self-destructed and now there's no signs of it ever existing? How's that one? How about them fucking apples? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Let's go.
That guy is.
Yeah, he can go to hell.
That guy seems silly. I
well,
would like to hang out with him, though. I would like to find out what makes him tick. I bet that guy is fascinating.
Well,
if you get him alone for a few days,
I'm in favor of. I'm pro-environment, but the in the limit, if you take environmentalism to an extreme, you start to view humanity.
Jay, exactly. Atlantis. You know what I mean? There's a lot of unexplained things. I feel like that theory almost, in a twisted way, it makes like 2 degrees of sense.
Humanity as a plague on the surface of the earth, like a mold or something.
Right.
But this is actually false. The Earth could take probably 10 times the current civilization. The population you could 10x the population without destroying the rainforest. So the environmental movement, and I'm an environmentalist, has gone too far. They've gone way too far. If you start thinking that humans are bad, then the natural conclusion is humans should die out. Now, I'm headed to an international sort of AI safety conference later tonight, leaving in about 3 hours. I'm going to meet with the British Prime Minister, a number of other people. So you have to say, like, how could AI go wrong? Well, if AI gets programmed by the extinctionists, its utility function will be the extinction of humanity. So, I mean, there are times when...
Bro, that is... Really scary. It's one thing to hear it from a random. Like when I hear random guys talking about, oh, AI is going to kill us all, man. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's really cute story. When I hear one of the forefathers of AI tell us this, that's when I start getting really nervous, man. That's when I start getting nervous. I mean, and he's been warning us for a long time that this is not going to be pretty. It's not all going to be fun and games and, oh, you know, a robot took my order at the cafe and he brought me a cup of coffee. Listen, this is just the beginning, bro. If you really think this is where it's going to end, there's no end in sight. This is the beginning of a new chapter of humanity.
When masks are warranted, but most of the time it's actually counterproductive.
Well, that was one of the things about the old Twitter was the propaganda and the adherence to whatever the CDC was saying and the dismissing of legitimate scientists, guys like Jay Bhattacharya from Stanford and legit guys.
Yes.
And they were suppressing them and even banning them. They banned Alex Berenson. I mean, it was wild. They banned Alex for essentially reading peer-reviewed papers.
Yeah. No, I mean, all Twitter was basically an arm of the government.
Yeah.
So
was that shocking? Like, what was that like? Because that, to me, that was the most bizarre. Was the Twitter files when you let Schellenberger and Matt Taibbi and all those guys get in the Twitter, and the response where Matt Taibbi gets audited. I mean, which is just wild. I mean, it's just so blatant and so in your face.
Yeah, it's weird. No, I mean. The degree to which, and by the way, Jack didn't really know this, but the degree to which Twitter was simply an arm of the government was not well understood by the public, and there was no It was whatever the official government. I mean, it was like Pravda basically. It's a state publication is the way to think of old Twitter. It's a state publication.
And
it's hard to. And I don't mean to cut Joe off, guys, for everybody watching this, but it's hard for me to picture that though, because. I mean, the thing is, they made it seem so free. They made Twitter seem so free because everybody could post on it. But just because it's an open access forum that everybody can post on, that doesn't mean everything is going to get pushed. I mean, I have ghost accounts with 0 followers. Nobody sees those tweets ever at all because it's completely irrelevant to any sort of algorithm. So I could see, and I did see, before Musk took Twitter over, a definite, a push towards certain narratives. First of all, Twitter was definitely a left-wing app before Elon Musk took it over. I don't think there's any denying that it was basically a left-wing perspective on Twitter. But, I think they still maintain the illusion of being for the people and being an open public forum through the method of basically having it open to everybody, but not pushing their content.
Is the justification from their perspective that they are progressive liberals, they have the right intentions, it's important that they stay in power, the progressive liberals stay in government and power because this is their.
There was basically oppression of any views that would even, I would say, be considered middle of the road. But certainly anything on the right. I'm not talking about like far right. I'm just talking mildly right. The people like Republicans were suppressed at 10 times the rate of Democrats. Now that's because old Twitter was fundamentally controlled by the far left. It was like completely controlled by the.
It's obvious. This is very plain to see. It doesn't matter what side you're on. By the way, it's plain to see.
The far left, and. That's why I say like San Francisco, Berkeley is a niche ideology. It's hard to say like, is there a place that's more far left than San Francisco, Berkeley?
Maybe Portland.
But it's like
right there.
It's it's those two places are the most far left places in America.
Yes.
So from their standpoint, everything is to the right, including moderates.
Right.
So now, if you internalize a far left position, everything seems wrong to you that is not far left.
Right.
And so they naturally oppressed anything that didn't agree with their views. That's why I say that it was an accidental far left information weapon. So, because it's like Silicon Valley attracts the smartest engineers, the smartest sort of technologists and programmers from around the world. They created an information weapon that was then harnessed by the far left, who could not themselves create the weapon, but happened to be co-located where the technologists were.
It happened to be aligned politically with the people that possessed it.
The technologists generally are moderate, maybe moderate left, but they're not far left. That's why I say San Francisco, Berkeley. It doesn't even extend to South San Francisco or even to Palo Alto. So SF Berkeley is the most far left, perhaps in a competition with Portland. But I'd say SF Berkeley is more far left even than Portland. Like literally in America, we're talking about an area that's maybe a 10-mile radius. And so normally the effects, the negative effects of a far left ideology would be geographically limited to a 10-mile radius.
So basically, Musk is saying that the radius in which the Twitter headquarters was located made it more of a possibility that the far left people in the city would be working there. I guess that's sort of what he's saying. It's interesting to hear that it would be contained so much to one part of the city. So yeah, there's Elon Musk guys talking about taking over Twitter and turning it into X. If you were to ask me my perspective, like in a personal sense, opinion-wise, about Elon Musk and what he's done with Twitter and now X, I would say he's done a decently good job. The one thing I really love the most about Elon Musk's Twitter is the community notes. I think community notes is probably the most important thing that we've ever had when it comes to Twitter and probably any app at all. I think the number one issue that these apps have is misinformation and disinformation. And, there's yet to be a social media platform that actually stands up and fights that. And granted, we have to sort of give them credit because it's only been about 10 years since the rise of social media really controlling everything and being influential, on the level of elections and the level of actually affecting our, policies in the world and things like that. So there wasn't necessarily a need to develop sort of counteractions to disinformation and misinformation to the level that we have it today, because I don't think we had it to this level ever before. If there was ever misinformation or disinformation, it was done through official channels. It was formally done through news outlets, right? It was and again, you don't need a formal conspiracy for something to sort of be kind of like a conspiracy. Like George Carlin says, right? If something was good for the news media, even if it wasn't the exact truth 15, 20 years ago, that would be the disinformation, but it would be government and sort of state-sanctioned disinformation. Whereas now, the disinformation can be coming from anybody in any place at any time. So don't get me wrong, it should have been controlled in the first place. There should never be any sort of disinformation or misinformation from any outlets. But what I'm saying is that it was at least the powers that be didn't have to monitor other people's disinformation because they had no platform to give it. Nowadays, there's so many platforms and there's information that can contradict the mainstream narrative as well. So there's many different layers to this now, and it's completely different to what it used to be. So I think Musk is definitely doing a solid. He's doing a solid when it comes to the community notes. The only thing, though, that I would say about Twitter is that I don't think it's that great of an app just because of what it sort of is. Like, you go on there, you can be scrolling, and I'll see videos of graphic violence. I've seen people, like, getting curb stomped on Twitter. I've seen people getting assaulted, beaten up, stabbed. I see all types of random porno on Twitter. Twitter is the only app that you'll be scrolling and you'll see porno just popping up on the screen. Like, you don't see that on Facebook. You don't see that on Instagram. So I feel like there's definitely a lot of work to do and a long way to go when it comes to Twitter and X. Never had Twitter. This is the most social media interaction I've had since ICQ. Had to check your live chat. Had to check this live chat stuff out. I respect to you. Respect to you. Hey, man, respect to you, my brother. I appreciate it. I'm going to make this chat window a little bigger so I can actually see it here. There we go. I've been squinting trying to read you guys' comments. But yeah, man, it's insane. You know, I feel like Musk, again, he's doing his best, but Twitter is still... I've always seen Twitter as like a dump. It's a virtual dump. That's really what Twitter is. Anybody can go on there and just post stupid shit. And it's kind of like a dump. That's really all I can say about it. So let me know what you guys think about Elon Musk down below in the comments. Instagram is the GOAT of all platforms for scrolling. I would agree. I think TikTok is pretty crazy for scrolling though, man. Like, they even have that ad with like zombie fingers showing the guy with like his fingers became like green and shit because he was scrolling so much. But Instagram is good. I just find Instagram lately is a little more dead, Kyle. Do you find that? Like, do you find that people are less interactive on Instagram than they used to be? Because I kind of find that. Okay, let's see. Do we have anything else? I have political shit, but I don't really want to do it right now. If I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I don't feel like doing politics tonight. Let's pull up Young Thug. Young Thug it might be political if you're from Atlanta. This is basically the president of Atlanta. Kyle says, Elon is a smart dude. Can't complain. He's a businessman. I agree. No, I completely agree. So fans have been surprised after seeing new photos surfacing of Young Thug in court. It has been an incredible journey here for Young Thug, attracting the attention from everyone from the mainstream news media all the way to Donald Trump. And Young Thug has been locked up in jail for over a year for racketeering charges in relation to the YSL criminal gang in Atlanta, which turned out to be far from just a rap fantasy, but actually one of the most deadly criminal gangs in the city, shooting at everyone from women to children to family members and mothers of their ops, I guess is what they would call them. But this is Young Thug in the photo that has surfaced today, and fans have been making all types of comments about his appearance. So here's the photo that surfaced today of Thug. Let you guys get a look at that. And then here's the photo of what he sort of is known for looking like. Look, man, I feel like it's one of those things where, look, when you're a man, I feel like you're subject to so much more criticism about your physicality than you are if you're a woman. And that's some real shit. Let me drop a bomb on that, because I feel like nobody would actually come out and say that. But look, I've seen people talking about the fact that commenting on Lizzo's weight is rude and it's against body positivity. So how can you rationalize to me that commenting on this dude's weight is cool? I mean, Lizzo is 100 pounds heavier than this guy easily. Lizzo is a person who actually should lose weight. And if you're going to talk about someone losing weight, maybe talk about someone who actually should lose weight. But when it's a woman, everybody's up in arms. When it's a woman, everybody cries about it and everybody cares. But if it's a man, you can call him fat. You can make fun of him for being in jail. You can make fun of him for the fact that he's gaining weight. I think that's lame. You know, I do question how the fuck he's gaining weight. You know, maybe he's working out. But when you go through shit, man, I think this is just what happens. So I think it's sort of uncalled for. But Young Thug, it does not look like he's getting out, man. It says, you know, his legal team has been pushing for bond for over a year on the grounds that their client's poor health from 1.5 years spent in the pretrial detention is limiting him. This lifestyle has caused physical harm to Young Thug. That's what his lawyer said during a hearing. Apparently, the conditions in which he's being held are horrible conditions. And I think that's probably true. But yeah, man, you know what? Give the guy a break. If he's guilty, he's going to be locked up. If he's innocent, they're going to let him go. That's really all I can say. Appreciate you guys for checking into the stream tonight. I'll be back soon. You know, I come on every time there's stories. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe for future videos. And can't wait to come back on again, man, and hang out with you guys. Always a fun time hanging out with everybody here. Have a good night, guys. Take care. Peace.